In fact, the move, head of organic division, Federal Fertilizer Department, Abuja.
This Mr. Bolayo Abeokuta, Federal Minister of Agriculture, Abeokuta.
Mr. Bong, Agribusiness, Abeokuta. Mr. Ayodele, Otaiku, Agribusiness.
So you are welcome to our plant and give you a general review. Now I'll give you a general brief. So here is the place we do our small chat. Talk to our people why we do this. You can see for every batch, we try to put it down, who is doing what. Because our production process is a batch process, as you know. So basically, the technology we use is patented by Professor, invented and patented by Professor D.A. Osho, or Professor, retired Professor Bobby and microbiology, rest of the garden. So this plant, taking you into perspective, was initially a concept of 7-country project by Federal Ministry of Environment in collaboration with Ogun State government. 7-country project to build a similar plant in 7 countries. Nigeria at that moment in 2008, 2009, Ogun State was chosen. So I wrote the proposal, talk about the technology and the methodology and how I was the preferred bidder for the job. So that's how I started. And this place was commissioned, opened by Undp 2009. That's the background. As organic fertilizer plant. Well, they call it demonstration project. And they now went to Abuja, they told us what to do. That we are going to do 2-year season outing in all the 3 zones in Nigeria before we can start talking about mass production to see the quality of our NPK, macronutrients, and micronutrients. So what we now have to do is to now produce in batches and give it to them. They do sample sampling. I think this should be your third visit. Yes. Officially. So they did the first cropping season in Ibadan for maize, rice for badegi, root crop, immediate for potato and cassava. First year potato, second year cassava. So we finish all their process in 2 years of December. So we are now to hit the road to market.
What is the result?
The result has been wonderful. I mean, I'll post all that to you, man, from them. We're just waiting for their results for the last time from them. But fantastic. Rice, we are doing almost 3 tons per hectare. And the advantage of going to Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Fertilizer Department is that they came up with a concept, which they said that we can also have a blend, alternative use. I think it was Dr. Victor Agribusiness said we should blend the OVT, which is strictly organic, with inorganic. From there, we came up with another formula called Arati ONR, which is Arati Organic Fertilizer. From the yield of badegi last December, it was fantastic. It was high. So we had an advantage of going for quality control with Federal Fertilizer. Because we didn't start to have this plant was not designed for organic mineral. It was designed for biofertilizer. But their health field evaluation give us that idea from the field report that when they mix it with urea from Ibadan, first year axis of maize, the result was fantastic. With Federal Department of Agriculture, Abeokuta, with their field officer, So we do soil formulation here, soil fertility strength. The other lecturer was the 2 lecturers we have attached to this plant, Dr. Ayodele and Dr. So they help us as professionals to make sure that every fertilizer should be produced for the soil fertility model requirement. So if a customer is coming now that says they want any macronutrient or macronutrient, we can do that for you. And of course, our model here we use strictly organic waste. That is majorly model.
Like this soil fertility formulation, are you on the broad base? Like, for example, now, Ogun State, the soil in Agribusiness is different from the so is it specific to farm or
No, specific to soil profile of the state. If a farmer says in the state, the farm of the state. So if the farmer says he wants this, he gives you this. We can do that from easier for us. And because our process is batch process. So we can produce this batch for this batch. So when we go into the plant, cost effectiveness, well, if we're doing volume, definitely we'll break it. The only challenges we have is bringing, the farther our raw materials, the more it is the cost. But if we are doing volume, we will break it. Now that we're doing commercial. But this plant has current stock capacity of 1 trailer per batch. 1 trailer per batch. Which means worst case scenario in every month 1 trailer load. And this is designed to increase my digester to do nothing less than 6-7 trailers per month.
Time from now you want to go commercial.
We are going commercial.
So and you will need
no, we are going to reach them based on the recommendation from our
okay.
So they want to make sure they are doing
one step before
for the other. We are doing the right thing. And so there will be a referral that okay, have they done this, have they done that, okay. Because most states in Nigeria don't have a fertilizer plant as well. So this is the prototype for the state. That you are doing something with us, you must follow the rules. Don't just bring anything for us to sell. And more or less that is tested with the National Climatic Foundation. So now we can officially, in fact, we visit our company, we have to sit there first. The man was on, say, CEO, this is your work, they're coming to check. You've done what they said, hit the road.
And okay, back to like 2 lecturers aside, they are consultants to you people.
They work with other
consultants.
Okay.
And what's their background?
PhD, soil fertility.
Okay.
Then the other guy, agronomy.
That's good.
You can, is the other one, you call it, just here, no problem, we can go to the department and just here. So I think we have more than 10 students done their MSc work here. Even another applied.
And then based on this soil specific fertilizer formulation, okay, so it is based on a study or is based on just a kind of survey on the soil?
No, based on a study and also by survey.
By survey?
Yes.
Okay. So you just need to tie it to, soil/crop.
Yes, okay, specification. Okay, first class. Because I'll take you to the back, because we have a small plot here.
Okay.
That's good effect on the back here.
Okay.
So for everything we do, we know we need to. There's always rotating this crop.
You see, the whole concept which you are applying to the plant is more or less a kind of tip to what actually agriculture at the federal level is doing. More or less, you have been hearing that soil crop specific fertilizer. That has been the slogan from the one of the ministry. And yes, I've been saying it over and over. We should stop this blanket fertilizer which has been from the one, farming 30 to 40 years. Let us be more scientific. What's the essence of this soil crop specific application? And that is why we are always happy to work with people like you. We are doing it there under a kind of public enlightenment and campaign, while you are doing it right in the country. And that is exactly our target, because even when you more or less reflect on what is happening in the other sector of nutrient supply, that is inorganic fertilizer, this is what we say, not just our blenders, even the importers. Okay, you just go and say, okay, bring 15, bring this. Application, most of the time you apply 15, you might not even need a piece.
Yeah.
Some don't even need the kit. So it must be, and when you apply where it is not needed, you are just wasting your money.
But it's also, because the beauty of it, this model, if manufacturer of blenders are producing with a cluster of professionals. Like we are lucky to have enough here, Ibadan there. You know, like what we did in 2011 is that we went to Niger State and gave 200 farmers fertilizer, the OBD, organic, and the OMF, all their plants and so. And I was lucky because I developed their blueprint for Niger State government, which is Vision 3 2020. So, the president of the Farmers Association, Alhaji Mohammed Gauba, brought everybody together and we gave them two bags. And the condition was that you must give me your soil before I give you my fertilizer. You know, because I can have a benchmark, what it was and what it's going to be when you now apply. Now, for the first time, you look at them and say, soil, what? Soil for fertilizer. So the soil for fertilizer made the place was fill up more than the 200 bags we brought. That you give me soil. Because consciously, we need a lot of knowledge to work with our farmers. And then the man now showed them in their local language, in Nupe, in Bagi, and one other language. I'll send it to you for a report. Wonderful for vegetable. Oh, wonderful for vegetable. Now that he is saying we should now use the tag soil fertility / crop. It makes sense. So, but that is, you know, so it makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense. It's more economical and
in fact, the people you now here give us that concept that for crop it should be specific. And it works. So, but you see, it will take a lot of workshop and encouragement to have professionals surrounding a blending or fertilizer plant. But we are lucky that we have a background of academic area. So it's making it work. You know, when Professor Dr. Folu came with Mr. Laiwola, he mentioned one thing. Ayo, you generate methane, whether you like it or not. Can you capture it? I'll show you my design. And when I did a new design in Port Harcourt, I captured the car. You see here. You see, this is the beauty. So, agriculture is going to informatics, where information of the professional, with the practical people, and everybody comes together to drive the system to near perfectness. And with use. So when you use and production and supervisor, like Federal Government Agriculture, over time, you know, they visit me to see the level of this soil fertility over time. Then we are part with any brand of fertilizer. So that is the advantage we enjoy. You know, so I think it's a good thing that you're helping us calibrate what we should do. Because you can't know it all. You know? Yeah. So let the professional people do their job. And when they help us, we listen and begin to have, because one thing some people tell you in the world, organic agriculture pollutes the climatic people, am I right? When you go to international conference, that's where you go and wait for the organic agriculture people, you maintain, when you tell them, no, I can get you to your stuff. And they're happy, they're okay, now we are friends. So let's go, sir. Like I told you, everything we have by nature is our production process here use 100% organic waste material. From chicken litter, poultry, generally pig grain, little percentage of organic waste from the house. Because our problem with organic waste is that it is not homogeneous and we cannot guarantee quality control for introduction of heavy metals. And we are cautious that we have to go through a lab process. We use rotors in Ibadan and IIT. That's the official laboratory for our work. All our batch process. So when we come in with our waste, we weigh. We have our electric weigh machine here. So depending on the kind of batch you're producing, you now have to like mix. So we have a mixer here. We introduce this organic waste. Yeah, dry. No. They can be dry, they can be wet. So, get me the OBD microbes. So like I told you, we now have microbes called OBD, which is called for sure biodegrader plus. The Peter that helps break down the organic waste over time, and that removes the odor. Because you get in here, you smell everything. No. So what the microbes gives us that advantage, we break food down and less than 3 weeks. We have both in the wet form and in dry.
Sorry, when you take in your waste, you say you waste. We are coming to that. You waste.
Yeah.
You do any sorting before you do the waste, or is it after when
No,
you do the
like when we get our waste from source. So we sort at source.
Exactly. That's what I want to do.
We source at source. For example, the poultry farm. You know when you do your cleaning, you go in there fresh. Pack it for you and head there. It says, you can see, did you see any littering here? No. I come in here because I need to maximize space. I don't have space. And I need to reduce labor to be competitive. So I go into poultry, I have a timetable with them, I go in, I pick my bags, you know, I bring them in. When I get here, I put my polythene bag on the floor. Okay, I have my weighing machine, depending on the ratio. Now, those ones that are big, that I have to slash, I use my slasher. One that needs to be slashed, will be slashed. Those ones that need to be put in the right proper perspective, I think it's one perspective. But majority, like when we are dealing with like cassava, you know, yam killer, and I need to slash. But poultry, in most cases, pigweed. But one key thing is we don't use organic waste without doing a pre-feasibility test of checking the empty, because we need to sell quality, not volume. And of course, you know my product is override. So not. We're going to see what we did earlier. Mix here. Now we power head directly. Okay. So the next thing is we can slash if it is necessary. So we have the mixer, we have the slasher. Two things we need to do initially before we go into digestive system. And our digestive system is anaerobic digester, AD, built naturally. But this process and this plant here goes, when we started, we never thought about capturing the methane until the Abuja people came. So that's not fertilizer. That's our design. Whether you like it or not, we will produce a little bit of methane, no matter how small. The system and the regulatory agency want to capture that into our second generation design. So this was our first generation design. I repeat, this is our first generation design. So now, if we finish all that, the next stage is to come to this our anaerobic digester. Like I told you earlier, it was a project under UNDP. Of course, UNDP don't finance the food factory. They do beneficial projects. So what this design fits into what they wanted earlier. So this is 6 feet by 6 feet. That's the depth. So we have 6 of it. Each of these will produce a maximum capacity of 200 bags of 20 kg and 5 kg. This batch process will produce 200 bags of 25 kg each. So once we mix, we put everything here, we cover it 3 weeks time before we open and start blending. So we now have 6 of this. And it was designed in a way so that when we start a full commercial process, we can be blending each per week. So if I want to increase my capacity, is to now put more of this around me. I have now, so I can have 20 of this system. Because the batch process. So the advantage is that if you want me to do N, nitrogen to be high, I can load it here high. If you want me to do P here, if you want me to do K, depending on what your soil crop requirement is. That's the advantage of the batch.
Okay, that's
That's my batch. I think that's agriculture. So now let me show you this, what this small demonstration is like. So what we did here was an experiment where we believe that there are particular crops in the world we cannot domesticate, but we have the capacity to enhance them. We went to Ghana in 2011 with conference, and they said they have a particular problem. Share not, they can't domesticate it. That once they domesticate it, and they want to transfer it to the experiment, it's longer than reason why. Now, the research says that the glomalin level in soil will farm low. So what do we need? They need a lot of microbes. A lot of microbes. Okay? So there are different kind of microbes that we can combine together. So in short, what do? We now take waste of shear nut in the north. So we went to Niger State and get shear water waste cake, what we call cake. I think from the north, it knows better. So specifically all the sample here was from Badindia of Niger. Okay. So we took this and we did our experiment. We now produce fertilizers with shea butter with this. What is a replica of what we have at home here and the rest. So we now have shea butter based fertilizer, both organic and organic. That's why they want to try to crop that. So Ghana, the University of Continental Studies, Ghana, Professor Joshua Ghana, who was the head of that, was on the shea butter research with USA. And they tried it on the little one of one concept. So this batch here was to show you that for batch process, we listen to farmers. So the philosophy of crop soil specifically tells more. Because you can have a particular cocoa farmer or whatever, listen to them, set up a small batch experiment like this. Once it's used, it's there. Good. So this was actually done for Ghana. And we've given them the result. So now we can now help Nigerians to also go into it. Because it's like they see shea butter as non-wildlife, what do you call it in agriculture? You know, what you can
not go to the wild.
I go in the wild. So we need to domesticate population and economy, right? But for now, so that is what this batch is. So now, because our fertilizer have an advantage, we have microbes that help increase the long and all that. There's particular fertilizer and all that. So that's the advantage we have over others in this business. Because we can get microbes, we can play around this, we can get out. So we also market ourselves as biofertilizer, not just organic fertilizer. Because our organic fertilizer is powered by microbes, not the normal conventional. You see this, because when I do anaerobic digestion, I have both aerobic microbes and non-aerobic microbes inside in the formulation of the body. So you see all those leave there because it gets hot and heat over time in the process. So we can put a temperature. When you get to my second generation design, which is in Otaiku, you will see the valve staining, you check the heat and how it's playing out the capture. So in this one we also bring out, but now that I have perfected it, I'm going to introduce the gas, capturing the gas. So the gas can be used for domestic.
Yeah, actually, I think it was being used in Kenya, in food.
Yes, energy. So your best is just, so as long as they are now going to full manufacturing, I have to factor it in the domestic, because the one in Otaiku, they can put it in cylinder. I want to start with it. And then people can use it for gas, lightning, and all.
This is the final phase.
Oh, no, that is the basis. That's what I said. No matter what, when they came here, the auditors, the 2010, this is their first report. And no matter what you do, you know. So now, if I now do this after 3 weeks, I can now remove it from this back process. Set all this water. They don't want to see. Though we design it by gravity that the water can flow. But they said no, and the standard organization, your process must conform international standards. Okay, so in the new design, we have to now put better design, piping in into the training system. So whether you like it or not, you have to check. So these are the observations based on their own health process. So I'm showing you because when you get to Otaiku, you'll be able to compare and say, okay, people that before you really don't want to do things that help us.
You have to assume the level of
compliance, because the truth is there must be agricultural compliance, whether we like it or not. So when we finish that, you take it out after 3 weeks into this process. Now, this process is called an open dryer. This is our first generation design. Now, it's a very simple system. The system uses injection by bees, and we heat to dry the fertilizer using hot air blower. So we have this system attached to a blower. Come on, please. So you see here is everything I told you is made in Nigeria. First generation design. So when you get to Otaiku, our second batch, so we have our DG here attached to it, and the order, and once you keep it inject all after this cooking system, and because all the comes out of the and already we put our and after every 6 minutes, we use weight. But what we discovered is that we cover. In the potential business, we cover. So we can maximize efficiency, better living, better time. So in this one here, once you put the weight, once you come down, you use weight, spread on it. Now, what I said here, now we have an injection, and they give 5 here. So now, but this is the electrical part connected to power. Okay.
Blower.
So blower. So once it comes down there, the hot air is what heats the system, not direct heat. You know, reason is this: we have microbes in a latent form, so the temperature is very important. You know, the microbes that we just activate and then they get to the soil, so we can't kill them. That's why I said you have to put the hot air. So in the design we have in Otaiku, we covered it. Not cool. Because we get faster, we are going to do more volume. And of course, you see, design-wise, still into the air. Aesthetics and all that. So, you know, it helps us that we have an auditor here, compliant also, you know, moisture level, atmosphere.
What's the temperature level? You try to maintain the temperature level and wet level.
Then, room temperature is maximum. Then you know here,
that is very important.
it's very important. Temperature, because we have to do that. But if you see here now, we have ventilation because we don't have AC here. So we have to use fancy blocks. So at every point in time, there's a ventilation, cross ventilation across. To make sure that things balance out. Well, if you get to the Otaiku one, you see that the owner said we should use glass. When we get there, we will compare. So once we leave here dry, what we have to do is that we have a granulator there. We have a granulator here. We have a granulator here. What it means is that once you have the grain size to be bigger and you need to pulverize to a particular size, 5 mm, all that, so you can regulate that. Because particular firm I said they want this, they want that, so they just need to make sure that they give the client what they want. So the next thing is I'll show you the shaker. So if you don't have some grain size area, I'm trying to put you on the table. You have to check out different levels. So I can get my very big back. That's the one I can do. Biofertilizer, micro, right there. So after this stage, the next stage is finally the bagging. And as you are bagging instead of here. So we have, you can see now. Finally. The example. So when you notice one thing, you have a inner liner because of moisture and water content not displaying. So even if you expose it to the sun or whatever. So this is called gateway, is 25 kg. Then we have the other brand, Agribusiness, combination of this and your urea with the same. Very important.
Like this one, it's actually all investigation and science has been done on this product. In fact, this visit is not even for this product. This product is not for ODP, not product. The visit is just to see the hierarchy organo-mineral fertilizer. But for this particular product, we are done with it. For the analysis, for the trial, we are done with the ODP. First, for the organo-mineral.
So now we have our organo-mineral.
And I believe you have two kinds of it, right? This organo-mineral, you have two kinds of it.
With this organo-mineral, normal one and the same other one. Or maybe or the one in that one is not available. But we have some.
Yes.
But so this is organo-mineral produced from the combination of the ODP.
So this is what we are thinking of the something and the other one. So we are doing we are short and okay with the so cool. You will just nothing at
What